Okay, so these are the Beats Studio Buds. Now we know that the track record for Beats hasn't been super great in the past. They've been known to be these super bass heavy headphones which people normally associate with having a really high price. So when I got my hands on them, I decided to see if that's really the case in 2023. Okay, so let's start with the design and build quality and the case. So in my opinion, the case feels really good. It's high quality, it has this matte finish which might be more prone to scratches, but I don't really care. And most importantly, the case is smaller than a lot of the competition, but AirPods are still slightly smaller than these. Especially compared to like the Beats Pro, which were like their first truly wireless headphones. These are way smaller and a lot more convenient in your pocket or just carrying it around. The earbuds are pretty average sized, they're not huge, and they're also pretty lightweight, which is a good thing. They obviously don't have the stem-like thing on the AirPods, it's just this bud design. Overall, I think they look really good, especially in this sick red color, and they also come in a black and a white. But if we were to compare with like AirPods and AirPods Pro, which a lot of people are going to be comparing, the people who are in the market for headphones like these, the case and this whole system is very slightly less convenient than with AirPods. What I mean by that is that when you think of AirPods, you think of this like really convenient, small, tiny case, which these are small, yeah, but those are a little bit smaller. But also the whole process of taking the earbuds out the case and everything is just way quicker with the AirPods. I don't know how to properly explain it, but these just aren't as easy to grip and like bring out the case. They do have magnets to connect into the case, but the system isn't as snappy and quick as with AirPods. With AirPods, you can somehow just throw them into the case and they'll go where they need to be. But they're better than a lot of earbuds on the market, especially with this sick case snap. Now let's talk about the fit. And in my opinion, the fit is decently comfortable and it's probably more comfortable than AirPods, especially for long periods of time. For shorter periods of time, I definitely prefer AirPods because they pretty much feel like nothing in your ear, even though it does get a little bit annoying after a while, but it is a hard shell instead of the silicone tips that these headphones come with. Other than that, it's a pretty standard feeling headphone. It's not super comfortable, but it's also not uncomfortable. I could definitely wear them for hours on end, but I definitely do need breaks in between. Now, especially for me, I've discovered recently that these headphones don't actually fit in my ears that well. But the thing is, when I used AirPods at first, I kind of said the same thing. They didn't stay in my ears for long, and it got kind of annoying, especially with workouts, running, or any type of exercise. But I feel like after a while, especially with these, and I've kind of already seen it come true, is that after a while, you'll eventually learn how to quickly put them in your ears in a way to like twist it right so that it stays in your ear. But definitely, if these are kind of going to be your workout headphones, I probably wouldn't recommend these. I would definitely recommend something with a dedicated like wingtip, like a lot of the Jaybird stuff, or like the Beats Pro, which have like the hook of your ear. You could get away with them with like just weightlifting because you're not like moving that much. But aside from that, I would definitely recommend trying them in a store and see if they fit you well. But also the fit, just also another thing that's not as convenient as AirPods. AirPods obviously don't have the silicone thing and they don't make a seal, so you can kind of just throw them in your ear and however way they fall into your ear is fine. These definitely take some adjusting at first, but also for longer periods of time for listening, every hour or so you have to like adjust how they're fit in your ear. And that's just a natural thing, that's a trade-off with a headphone that makes a seal like this. It's going to go deeper in your ear and it's going to take some time to getting used to if you're coming from AirPods. Okay, now these are headphones, so we need to talk about sound quality. And in my opinion, the sound quality is way, way better than AirPods, at least the regular AirPods. They sound super clear and they get pretty loud, and I never need to turn them to max volume. The bass is nice and thumpy, but not like overpowering like what Beats are known for. But I've never tried old ones, so I don't really know what people are talking about. And the highs definitely don't get shrill at all. These are warm and fun sounding. And vocals and voices sound plenty clear for like calls or even listening to a podcast. I've never listened to AirPods Pro, but I would imagine the sound signature is probably different. These probably have a little bit more of a bassy sound, at least as far as I've heard. Now, it's not like audiophile level. These headphones don't cost like 300 or 400 pounds. Right now, they're going for like 110 pounds on Amazon, which is crazy. And for that price especially, they sound really good. Okay, now let's mention ANC because that is a huge selling point of these headphones. Okay, ANC, active noise cancellation, is a pretty hyped thing in a lot of earphones nowadays. This is my first ANC headphone, and it's kind of overrated in my opinion. I just think most of the difference here comes from having a good seal, which these do, but I can still hear stuff even with ANC on. I've also tried the over-ear headphones with ANC, things like the Sony WH-1000 XM5s. Terrible name, but they are insane, and I can barely hear things around me. But with these, you can definitely make out some stuff. It's not a big deal, but it doesn't cancel noise like some over-ear headphones do. But I still argue that these are a good package for general use because they are so small and they're not huge like those big headphones, but also good for travel on airplanes. They also have transparency mode, which is really useful. I found this to be really great, especially when like crossing roads or walking around. And it's all controlled in the control center for the iPhone or the app for Android, which is pretty cool. But yeah, don't expect noise cancelling to completely cancel all the noise. It definitely reduces it. And also don't expect, on the flip side, transparency mode to completely let in everything and be able to hear whatever you want to hear with your music at full blast. Okay, now let's talk about the tap controls. Okay, so in my opinion, these tap controls are a little bit annoying, and that's mainly just because you have to kind of press it into your ear. It's a button, it's not a capacitive touch control. I prefer those touch controls on AirPods where you just tap it. But other than that, it is pretty functional. The long press is really useful for switching between ANC and transparency mode, but annoyingly, there are no volume controls on these headphones, but that's the same with like AirPods. And battery life is really good as well. It's hard to come across buds nowadays with battery life that's not that good. These have 5 hours of battery life on a charge with ANC on, and like 19 hours with the case. And those numbers just increase without ANC. And what's really nice is, for the first time in any headphone, I think, Apple's included USB-C in these Beats. It's weird for an Apple product, but it's a nice thing, especially for Android users and for the future if eventually Apple does decide to move everything to USB-C. Okay, so if you noticed, Apple clearly cares a lot about Android with this product, which is kind of weird. You just get this general idea from the things like the app that's made for Android. The pairing process is now basically the same. You just open the case and a pop-up comes on either Android or iPhone now, which you can just connect from easily. The USB-C port is great now. These are great moves, but I just hope these carry on with other accessories like audio products and even their phones. Okay, and also one kind of major but not that important con with these headphones is just a build quality mention. The lid on the top just seems to move around on my model specifically more than my AirPods, for example. The AirPods still had the same issue where the lid was kind of loose, but with these it's a little more noticeable. It doesn't affect anything like the charging or whether it knows that it's closed or not. It's completely fine, but it's just something I noticed. Okay, now for the overall conclusion, I think these headphones are a really nice package, especially with headphones like these truly wireless earbuds. You need to look at the overall convenience, and these are definitely a convenient package that put in features like active noise cancellation and transparency mode, but I would probably say that AirPods, the whole package of AirPods, is a little more convenient than these. But the trade-off here is definitely to make that better seal and for use on like travel with the ANC and the transparency mode. These features are in these headphones, but not in regular AirPods. So for that kind of buyer who wants a great everyday headphone, but also wants to be able to use it for travel and maybe some light working out without having to spend money on like 2 or 3 different headphones for like the gym and traveling and ANC and all these different things. This is definitely a nice package, and I would recommend picking them up if you find out that they do fit in your ear, because I do think that's probably the riskiest thing that comes with buying these headphones. I don't know, that's just for me though. Especially for the crazy price of like £110 on Amazon right now, which is like less than half than the AirPods Pro, and these have similar features like ANC and transparency mode. So yeah, if you're in the market, definitely consider these headphones along with the other cons that I mentioned in this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this video or found it useful, and a huge thanks for watching.